Hey everyone, today we are going to be going over the non-calculator portion of the practice test, which is everything that we've done through this chapter so far, so converting between fractions, decimals, and percents. So make sure that you are following directions. This first section says write the following numbers as fractions in simplest form. So for the decimals to the fractions, I'm going to be counting decimal places and using the correct power of 10 for the denominator, and then simplifying the fraction if necessary. So 0.17 is 2 decimal places, so 17 over 100, and 17 over 100 cannot be simplified. 0.005 is 3 decimal places, so 5 over 1,000, and these have a 5 in common, so it's 1 over 200. 3.13 means I'm going to start with 3 as part of my mixed number, and then 2 decimal places means 13 over 100, and 13 over 100 cannot be simplified. 0.0018 is 4 decimal places, so it's going to be 18 over 10,000, and 18 and 10,000 are both even, so I'm going to divide by 2. 18 divided by 2 is 9, and 10,000 divided by 2 is 5,000. Now I'm going to go from percents to fractions in simplest form. Remember that percents are out of 100, so 15% is 15 over 100, and then I divide by 5, so 3 over 20. 13% is going to be 13 over 100. It cannot be simplified. 75% is going to be 75 over 100, and I'm actually going to divide by 25, and I get 3 over 4. Now remember on this one that there are several different ways that you can do it. You can divide by different things, but in the end you should get to 3 over 4. For number 8, what I did first was change the percent to a decimal because it's that bigger than 100%. So 112 is going to be 1.12. And then I'm going to say this is 1 and 12 over 100. And 12 and 100 have a 4 in common. So I'm going to divide by 4, and I get 1 and 3 over 25. The next section says write the following numbers as percents. So for the fractions, I want to get them out of 100. So for number 9, I'm going to multiply by 2 on both the top and the bottom, and I get 60 over 100, and that's going to be 60%. For number 10, I cannot go from 60 directly to 100, so I have to simplify. So I'm going to divide by 3 first, and I get 11 over 20, and then I'm going to multiply by 5, so I get 55 over 100, which is 55%. For number 11, sorry for the interruption, but for number 11, we are going to move the decimal to the right 2 places, because to go from a decimal to a percent, I'm going to hop twice, 1, 2. So 1, 2 is going to be 0.9%. And on number 12, I'm going to jump twice, 1, 2, and I get 134%. For number 13, 48 over 64, the thing they have in common that's the greatest is going to be 16. So I get 3 over 4. And then I'm going to multiply by 25. So 75 over 100 is 75%. 27 over 100 is already over 100, so 27%. 0.173, I'm going to move it twice to the right, so 17.3%. I started to say the answer a little too early there. And 0.29, I'm going to move it to the right twice, so 29%. All right, last section, write the following numbers as decimals. So to go from a fraction to a decimal, I need a 10, 100, or 1,000 on the bottom. I'm going to multiply this by 5 to get to 100, so 35 over 100. 100 means 2 decimal places, and then I fill in my 35. For number 18, to go from a percent to a decimal, I'm going to move the decimal 2 places to the left, so 1, 2, and I'm going to put a 0 in that placeholder. So 0.0003. 43 over 1,000 is already over a power of 10, so I need 3 decimal places, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to put 43 at the end. For 453.7, I'm going to move the decimal 2 places to the left, so 4.537. For 18%, okay, for 18%, I'm going to write my 18 without the percent sign. I'm going to take my decimal and I'm going to move it 2 places to the left, so 0.18. For 26.5%, I'm going to do the same thing. The decimal's already in there, so 1, 2, so 0.265. For 7 over 500, I'm going to multiply by 2 to get to 1,000. So 14 over 1,000 is 3 decimal places. So 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to put the 14 at the end. And for 6 over 10, it's already a power of 10, so I'm going to have 0 and 1 decimal place, so 0.6. Okay, again, this is the converting fractions, decimals, percents. We did all of this without a calculator, and you are allowed to use your tips sheet.